Good day. It is a pleasure getting across to you, dear learners, once more. We are going to look at the second part of the introduction to commerce. And we are going to discuss this now. And before we start looking at it, get all the necessary materials or things that will enable you to put down some things and which you can revisit after this particular class. We are going to look at the learning objectives before we go into this in details. The learning objectives include: 1, you should be able to give the meaning of e-commerce or electronic commerce. 2, mention the various forms of e-commerce and its products. Then 3, state the effects of e-commerce on businesses. And you should be able to list and discuss 5 factors that delay the development of commerce in Nigeria. And lastly, you should be able to list and explain 5 factors that contribute to the growth of commerce in your country also. What is the meaning of e-commerce, by the way? When we say e-commerce, what are we talking about? From the name itself, e-commerce simply means electronic commerce, and it is the process of buying, selling, and marketing of products and services across the internet or in the internet. Its various forms include e-retailing, data gathering through website, or that is obtaining data or information through website, electronic data interchange, then email and fax, and lastly, business interaction. So all these, they are different forms of e-commerce that exist. What are the various products of e-commerce? The various products of e-commerce that are available include financial transactions. We have different financial transactions that we can embark upon or that we can carry out nowadays, either with our banks or with other financial institutions. Then we have communication also. Then we equally have different forms of videos which are produced or provided as e-commerce products. Then we have photography also. We have photography. We equally have different softwares that are e-commerce products. We have music also that are also e-commerce products. What are the effects of e-commerce to us as individuals and as a people? 1, the first effect of e-commerce is that it has helped in decreasing the cost of transactions. That is, the cost that is incurred in embarking on a single transaction has been reduced drastically as a result of e-commerce. 2, it has decreased the use of cash. A good example is what we have in most part of our economy nowadays, that is cashless economy. So without going about with cash, or without moving from one place to another with cash, so you can easily go ahead and embark on your business or transactions, any location that you get to, using maybe your ATM card or using your mobile banking app and so on and so forth. Then we equally have personalized marketing. Nowadays we have a lot of e-marketing taking place as a result of e-commerce. So we have a lot of products that we come across that we get to know, or that we can either buy or sell even in e-commerce platforms nowadays. E-commerce has also helped to eliminate a lot of intermediaries between. It has helped to eliminate or remove intermediaries between producers or those who that are rendering services and the ultimate customers. Then e-commerce has also improved connectivity between people and organizations. So it is now easier for us to easily get across to individuals who are our customers and to organizations maybe that we want to enjoy its service or that we want to buy its products. What are the factors promoting commercial activities? The various factors that have encouraged commercial activities include the following. 1. Increased population. So the volume of large population that we have nowadays contributed to the commercial activity that eventually developed. We have a larger number of population, far more than what was obtainable in the olden days, where we only have maybe a few number of people who are living maybe within the clans, within the communities, and within the few societies that we have at that particular time. Number 2, improved transportation facilities also contributed towards commercial activities. That is, whether we are talking about land transportation, water, air transportation, discover that there have been a lot of improvement in all these transportation facilities. So there have been a lot of improvement in these transportation services. So the facilities that are eventually used have improved. So technology has actually impacted on most of these transportation facilities. Then we have development and improvement in warehouse. Nowadays, in the olden days, it was a big challenge keeping away or storing away goods until when they are required or until when they are taken to the market. Nowadays, whether they are the markets whether they are products that have just been manufactured and which are supposed to be taken to the market, or maybe those on that are waiting for evacuation, maybe by the customers who have bought them. So it is possible to keep products or goods in the warehouse nowadays safely without anything happening to them. Apart from that, improvement in means of communication. So there have been improvement in the means of communication. In the olden days, the means of communication was very crude and very poor. And such means of communication are equally restricted to a particular area. But nowadays we have means of communication that cut across large spans of land and that can cut across different countries and nations. And as such, so this has actually helped in promoting commercial activities. Then upcoming of financial institutions. Apart from that, we also have financial institutions that have developed nowadays. And we have banks, we have other financial institutions like the capital markets or capital market organizations. We have other related organizations like insurance and so on and so forth. So all this, they've helped to build up the capital requirement and the level of capital that is available in the society. And this has actually promoted commercial activities to a large extent. Then development of insurance industry. So insurance has actually helped to defend or protect individuals and organizations against large risks that are likely going to happen or occur. And that has actually encouraged a large number of individuals and organizations to commit their money or funds into business activities or commercial activities. Improved advertising methods is another one. So there have been a lot of improvement in advertising methods. Goods are easily made known to prospective customers, and the means of appealing to them to patronize or buy such products has also improved, and they are very powerful. Then we also have factors that negatively affect commercial activities or that hinders commercial activities before now. And among these factors include inadequate capital. So it was a big challenge raising the required capital in the olden days. But nowadays, individuals and organizations can easily approach their banks or other financial institutions and then obtain the required capital to start their business or to carry on with their business activities. Number 2, presence of fraudulent activities. A lot of fraudulent activities that were rampant or going on in society also hindered or limited commercial activities before now. Then low level of education. So the level of education was very poor, and it has affected the access to information and knowing how to go about some of these major commercial activities. So even those information that were available, it was very difficult for people to access them and take advantage of them because of the fact that the level of education was very poor. Then we equally have political instability. So a lot of political instability was a common thing. So political instability was a common thing in our society before now. We have a lot of regime that were interrupted by military coup, by political crisis, and so on and so forth. So all this actually affected commercial activities, or they did not allow commercial activities to thrive during all those trying periods. Then we have poor infrastructural facilities. The development of infrastructural facilities was also at the lowest level, and as such, so it equally limit the level of commercial activities that could come up. Then apart from that, we have absence of large markets. For products to be able to do very well, and for producers to continue to exist, then they must be able to dispose or sell their products. But in a situation where we have very limited or restricted markets for those products, definitely it will be very difficult for them to dispose them and then be able to earn enough income to continue to exist and run their businesses. Low per capita income. So the level of fund or money available to each household or individual within the society has been very poor. In other words, it has not been enough even to take care of just providing for their daily feedings. Talk less of accumulating them to be able to invest or start a business. In conclusion, e-commerce today plays a vital role in the course of business activities. E-commerce today plays a vital role in the course of business activities. Furthermore, commercial activities have been limited initially and were also helped by a series of factors as enumerated above. Reference material: Simplified and Amplified Commerce for SS by Femi Longe et al., Longe Publishers. Then we have Commerce for SS by Ahukana et al., Africana Publishers. Then we have Comprehensive Commerce for SS by J.U. Anyali, Johnson Publishers. Assignment 1A. Define the term e-commerce. B. List and describe 5 forms of e-commerce. C. State 5 effects of e-commerce. 2. List and explain 5 factors that promoted commercial activities in your country. 3. Mention 5 factors that hinder the development of commercial activities in your area. Thank you for your time.